Let's kick things off with a strange one. Roman laws could get weirdly specific, diving into the minutiae of daily life. Some even touched on facial hair, dictating how men should groom themselves. In ancient Rome, being clean-shaven was a mark of a true Roman. Beards were for outsiders, often seen as barbaric. The laws reflected these social norms, dictating how a proper citizen should look and behave. This shows just how detailed the legal mess Justinian inherited really was, with laws covering every aspect of life. Justinian's legal code wasn't just a book, it was a total overhaul of the empire's legal system. It aimed to simplify and unify the complex web of laws that had accumulated over centuries. The empire's laws were a tangled mess, with contradictions everywhere, making governance a nightmare. Lawyers had to dig through centuries of conflicting rules, making justice slow and often unfair. Justinian saw this chaos as a threat to his empire's strength and stability. He wanted one emperor, one faith, and one law, a unified vision for a new Rome, a vision of order and control. His legal project was about more than tidying up. It was about power, identity, and legacy, shaping the future of the empire. The new code would reach from Constantinople's markets to Egypt's farms, showing the world Rome was still alive and thriving. Before Justinian, legal outcomes depended on who could find the most obscure law, leading to inconsistent and often biased rulings. Justinian's code aimed to end that confusion and project his authority everywhere, ensuring a fairer system. This was his most lasting achievement, outliving his wars and conquests, a testament to his vision. The Justinian Code became the backbone of a civilization, not just a relic of the past. It was a bold move to bring order to chaos, a move that would define his legacy. And it all started with the tiniest details, even beards, showing how the smallest things can reflect larger societal values. And it all started with the tiniest details, even beards. So, who was Justinian? He's one of history's most fascinating rulers, a man whose ambition and vision shaped an entire era. He wasn't born into power. He started life in a small, humble Balkan village, far from the glittering palaces of Constantinople. His uncle Justin, a tough and ambitious military leader, who would later become emperor himself, adopted young Justinian and made sure he received the best education possible, preparing him for greatness. When Justin died, Justinian took the throne in 527, stepping into a world of intrigue, challenge, and opportunity. He was tireless. Nicknamed the Emperor Who Never Sleeps, he worked day and night to strengthen his empire. Justinian dreamed of restoring the old Roman Empire to its former glory, launching costly wars to reclaim lost lands and expand his realm. But he was more than a conqueror. He was a builder, a visionary, and a religious reformer who sought to leave a lasting mark on history. His crowning achievement? The Hagia Sophia, a church so grand and magnificent that Justinian boasted he'd surpassed even Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. Justinian saw himself as God's chosen ruler, determined to unify his empire in both law and faith, believing his mission was divinely inspired. His wife, Theodora, was his equal in ambition and intelligence, and together they formed a formidable team. Once an actress of humble origins, Theodora became his closest advisor, confidant, and co-ruler, breaking barriers for women in power. During the Nika riots, when Justinian nearly lost his throne to chaos and rebellion, it was Theodora's fierce resolve that convinced him to stay and fight for his empire. Her courage and determination helped save his reign and ensured his legal reforms would survive. Justinian's relentless drive for unity in territory, faith, and law defined his rule and set the foundation for the Byzantine Empire's future. Without Theodora's strength and partnership, his legacy might have ended before it truly began. Together, they reshaped the empire, leaving a legacy that would echo through the centuries. And their remarkable partnership made the legal revolution possible, changing the course of history for generations to come. Why did Justinian need a legal overhaul? What was so broken about the laws of Rome that it demanded a complete reset? Because Roman law was chaos. Utter, sprawling chaos that touched every corner of the empire. For centuries, new laws piled up, some clear, some contradictory, many obsolete. Every emperor, consul, and magistrate left their mark, adding to the confusion. Imagine a rulebook rewritten by every player for 1,000 years, with no one ever erasing the old rules. The result? Millions of laws scattered across endless scrolls, with no official collection or master list to consult. Only the best and most expensive lawyers could navigate this labyrinth. Ordinary citizens were left bewildered. On top of imperial edicts, there were the writings of famous jurists, who often disagreed, sometimes fiercely. Judges had to weigh conflicting opinions from long-dead scholars, making every verdict a gamble. Legal cases became unpredictable and unfair, with outcomes depending more on luck and connections than on justice. The rich could hire experts to find obscure laws. The poor stood little chance, often left powerless and unheard. This confusion threatened the empire's stability, undermining trust in the government and its institutions. People lost faith in a system that seemed arbitrary, where justice was a privilege, not a right. Justinian knew a strong empire needed clear, accessible laws for everyone, rich or poor, citizen or foreigner. The old system had to go. It was time to sweep away the confusion and start fresh. He wanted justice to be predictable, not a game of legal hide-and-seek or a contest of who could pay more. His reforms aimed to make law a tool for unity, not division, a foundation for a fairer society. The legal mess was holding Rome back, stalling progress and fueling discontent. Justinian set out to fix it, once and for all, determined to leave a legacy of order and justice. Justinian didn't just complain. He acted. In 528, he assembled a legal dream team, led by the brilliant and controversial Tribonian. Their mission: sift through centuries of imperial laws, cut the clutter, and create a single, clear code. Tribonian was a legal genius, known for his encyclopedic knowledge and relentless work ethic. He became Justinian's chief architect of reform. The team's first task: organize all imperial edicts into the done in just 14 months. But the real challenge was next: the writings of the great Roman jurists. Justinian ordered Tribonian to distill thousands of books and millions of lines into one authoritative volume. This became the Digest, a legal encyclopedia for the ages. The project was massive but essential. The team had to resolve contradictions, update old ideas, and make the law usable for their time. Justinian's legal revolution was underway, and Tribonian was the mastermind behind it. Imagine sorting a library of thousands of messy, contradictory law books. That was Tribonian's job with the Digest. His team read, cut, and reorganized centuries of legal debate into a single 50-volume reference. They didn't just copy, they adapted, blended, and clarified the old texts for a new era. This process, called interpolation, made the Digest practical and relevant. After 3 years, they produced a collection that preserved the wisdom of 39 jurists. Without this work, most Roman legal thought would have vanished. The Digest became the intellectual heart of Justinian's new system. Alongside it, the Institute served as a beginner's textbook for law students. Justinian replaced chaos with clarity and saved a legal heritage for the future. Justinian's goal was clarity and fairness. The new code made law accessible. No more winning cases by finding obscure loopholes. The Digest was organized by topic, so anyone could look up the law. This was a leap forward for the rule of law, clear, stable rules instead of arbitrary power. The emperor was supreme, but even he was bound by the law. The code introduced ideas of fairness, contracts, and even recognized slavery as contrary to natural law. It wasn't perfect, but it planted seeds of justice that would grow for centuries. Justinian's system set a new standard for what law could be. Justinian's code ruled Byzantium for 900 years, but its influence spread far beyond. After being lost in Western Europe, the Digest was rediscovered in Pisa around 1070. Scholars at Bologna and other universities studied it, sparking a legal revolution. Roman law offered a rational alternative to chaotic local customs. Kings and the church used it to build unified states and canon law. This became the civil law tradition, now the foundation for most of Europe, Latin America, and beyond. The Napoleonic Code was directly inspired by Justinian's work. A 6th century project became the backbone of modern legal systems. Justinian's legacy survived, adapted, and shaped the world. What does a 1500-year-old law code have to do with you? More than you think. Even in common law countries, Roman legal ideas echo everywhere. Contracts, property, and innocent until proven guilty all have roots in Justinian's Code. Legal terms like bona fide and pro bono are Roman legacies. The structure of legal education still follows Justinian's model. You may never read thee, but its logic shapes how we live, buy, and resolve disputes. Justinian's dream helped build the legal world we know. Justinian's Code isn't just ancient history, it's a living legacy. It bridged the ancient and modern worlds, shaping law for centuries. Law is always evolving. Every generation reinterprets the past for new challenges. Justinian's project shows law is a human creation, an ongoing quest for justice and order. His code outlasted empires and shaped civilizations. The story of law is never-ending, full of bold ideas and remarkable people. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe for more stories from history that still shape our lives. Thanks for watching.